Yo, 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 welcome to the Hulaham Hour. We missed a week because we had some big things happen in my life. Me and my wife gave birth to our first child, Kaden. Very excited about that. So there was a legitimate excuse for why I was not here last week. However, thanks to my beautiful, lovely wife for letting me continue to do this. I really appreciate it. So anyways, without any further ado, we've been talking him up for the last couple of weeks. We would like to bring our esteemed guest on, Mr. Sean Guest. What up, Sean?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Man. Yeah, for sure, dude, for sure. So I see you are walking around lovely outside Florida, which is making me and this gnome here pretty jealous. How you been down there for a few years now, dude? How long you been down there?
Yeah, so I originally moved down here in like December of 2018, and then when COVID happened, I kind of panicked and thought everything was going to shut down here. So I like packed a U-Haul up with all my stuff, came back up to Michigan for almost a year, but then I seen like everyone was having so much fun down here, so then I was like, all right, it's time to go back, because no one ever shut down anything. Like I was worried I wasn't going to be able to work, so I moved back up north to work on my buddy's pot farm. And then it just, I didn't do that at all.
Oh, yeah.
No one ever stopped anything here.
Yeah, I know. When I came to visit you last year, dude, which, by the way, still reminiscing about that. Well, that was so fun.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, so much fun. We'll definitely have to do that again. But you introduced me to the comedy scene in a way that I would have never imagined. We got to meet Uncle Laser. We got to meet Uncle Jolly. We got to meet a whole bunch of fun people. What's been your favorite thing in the comedy scene down there so far for you?
Oh, down here, I would say just like the hang in general, like because like the comedy club that I started at and that I like work at, like my home club, Side Splitters, that I brought you to. It's considered like one of the best clubs in the country. It's like a comics club. So like all the big names, even if they're doing theaters, they'll go there because they just love the atmosphere, and they treat it like a gym. Like that's where they go to work out new jokes and stuff. So like on any given weekend, like after the show, I'm with someone I grew up watching on TV, and we're just like getting drunk at a bar and just like shooting the shit and talking shop or just talking life and stuff. So it's like one weekend it'll be fucking Pauly Shore, and the next weekend it's like somebody that was just on Joe Rogan the day before. It's just crazy. But it's the hang is my favorite part for sure. Like the after hours debauchery.
I'll say when we went out and we're all sitting around that table and it's just a bunch of people that do stand-up comedy, there's so much quick wit and so many just dagger after dagger after dagger after dagger, and I can see where that just becomes addicting. Like so addicting. But yeah, so to plug you a little bit more, you have a show coming up here back home in Michigan.
First time performing in Michigan, baby.
Yep, Friday, January 10th, 7 o'clock at the Detroit House of Comedy, correct?
Yep, and then 2 shows Saturday as well.
2 shows Saturday as well? That's awesome. What times are the ones on Saturday?
I think 7 and 10, something like that.
Okay, that makes sense, because this one on Friday says 7 to 8:30. So who are you hosting? Is it Uncle Jolly again?
Yeah,
David Jolly.
David Jolly. Yep, David Jolly. America's favorite uncle. He's hilarious.
Yeah, dude, he is funny. It's Cam Patterson's uncle, correct?
Not by blood, but he just kind of says that, like they both were in the Orlando comedy scene. There wasn't like a lot of hood dudes in the scene. So like when Cam, first started doing comedy, Jolly kind of took him under his wing because like they were, it was them and then just a bunch of white nerdy dudes, so of course they kind of latched onto each other, and Cam blew up and kind of brought Jolly along with him for the ride, and it's been amazing for both of them.
I know, it's crazy what Kill Tony has done.
Oh my god. Yeah, me and Cam were doing like these tiny little bar shows for like $15 on the weekends. He goes to Austin for 1 week, and then he's like on private jets with Shaden Gillis and stuff.
I know, he brought a pocket full of rocks and came home with a pocket full of cash. Like,
yeah, he's doing this thing now. Like when he arrives in a city, he'll just like go to a Home Depot, buy a big bag of rocks, and he just signs his name on them. And that's his merch for after shows, and people will pay $15-20 a pop for these rocks that he's paying like a couple cents for.
Dude, that is
That's
insane.
great.
The
It's
first
insane.
time I saw him, he's been the funniest guy I've seen as a bucket pull on Kill
Oh, yeah.
Tony to this day.
Oh yeah,
Two,
he had the
when
best bucket pull ever, in my opinion.
When the first time I saw him, I laughed so hard. I was like, first, it kind of made me addicted to Kill Tony.
Yeah.
And I still don't know whether I like someone to be good or bad, like, because they're both just really funny.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely, has there been anything? I'm sure there's got to be something similar mimicking that in Tampa, right?
Kinda. I mean, we have a ton of open mics. There's something my buddy Cam Bertrand. He's pretty big. He's got like close to 1 million followers on socials. He got big from America's Got Talent. He's actually doing something Saturday night where it's like an open mic, but he's being a guest judge, and whoever has the best set of the night, he's going to let do like a guest spot on his show at 10 o'clock that night or whatever. So, like, I mean, we have tons of open mics and comedy competitions and stuff, but Kill Tony's kind of like a one-of-one thing. Like, no, it's often imitated, never,
Never replicated. That is for
duplicated.
sure.
Exactly.
Tony Hinchcliffe is on a different intellectual level of comedy than 99% of anyone that touches a mic.
He's the best shit talker and roaster on the planet. Like, he can roast anyone anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, he definitely is. So yeah, I guess to switch gears a little bit, with you being down in Tampa, when I came down and saw you last year when the Lions came to town.
Oh yeah, don't remind me.
Over Raymond James Stadium, dude.
And
I know that we didn't play this year, but the Bucs are still looking like they're going to make the playoffs, man. How's Tampa?
Hey, we're the only team that beat you guys. I mean, and the Bills.
Yeah, I know, which is just absolutely incredible. It just caught us on bad days, but yeah, how's the vibes in Tampa for the playoff heading into the playoffs?
When Godwin went down and Evans at the same time, that's rough. But hope's been better. Like, last week kind of sucked because we should have won that game, and it just sucks because they are literally doing all this with all these injuries. And like, they have 3 overtime losses. One, they lost on a last-minute field goal to like the Niners or whatever. Like, they should have 4 more wins than what they do right now. It's insane with the roster that they have. Like, Baker is legit, man. Like, he's really. I wasn't sure about him, but I'm totally in on Baker right now. Like,
yeah, he's definitely changed. Like, and to talk about big shoes to fill. I mean, you're taking over for Brady. You've been rode off. He was almost selling tile at Home Depot for a while there. I mean, he was like 1 foot in the grave almost in Carolina, and now he's just absolutely killing it. They signed him to a big contract. He's doing commercials again. I seen last week there was an interview where they were interviewing someone on Tampa Bay, and Baker came and wanted to ask questions like he was an interviewer. And asked the question like, so who do you like better as a teammate, me or so and so? And like,
he did it with Bucky Irving, because Bucky used to play with Bo Nix.
Yes,
and
that's what it
he was saying, who did you become boys with quicker, me or Bo Nix? And of course he said him. But like, when you watch all these interviews, you hear all these things. Like, Baker is like a guy's guy. Like, they say like a lot of quarterbacks keep to themselves. They don't really hang out with the guys. Like, as soon as he walks in the building, like he's going to the gym and he's asking these guys like, hey, let's go get some beers, or hey, let's go hang out and stuff. Like, he's a man of the people. So like, I think the way he is in the locker room really like makes those guys want to fight for him and really want to go to war with him, Yeah. So I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
The off the field shit.
All right, Nick, what do you got?
Baker's absolutely a dog. Them lions would die for him, and he'd die for them.
Yeah.
Dude, he'll be the first guy out blocking if he can get there.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I respect about him more than anything.
And he's got over 30 touchdowns already this year. Like, he's doing well, especially with having to go so many games with. And Godwin was on pace for like a career year. Like, putting him back in the slot was like the best thing they could have ever done. And he was putting up insane numbers. And then of course he went down, which sucks because he's like one of my favorite players. But at least we got Big Mike back. He's still got a chance of hitting 1,000 yards again for like the 10th or 11th year in a row, something insane like that. But he needs a little help. But I think he can get the job done.
It'd be 11 with 2 games left. I think he'll get it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Mike is one of the greatest receivers to ever play.
Oh yeah, I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
I would agree. I found out where he gets his haircut. He was like shouting out his barber, and now that's where I go get my haircut. Dude,
Nice.
it's awesome. It's cheap. They do an amazing job. They're these Jamaican guys. They're cool as shit. And anytime you're in there, you'll see like a linebacker or somebody from the team like getting lined up. It's crazy. Like every time I'm in there, I see a player. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
You know, when we were downtown Tampa and we were at that one bar, the Hub, I think, or whatever.
Oh yeah, we seen the team bus.
We've seen the team buses come out. Like Tampa's a big city, but it's also small enough where you can see stuff like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's
And
got a nice downtown, but it's not like New York where it's so big and just condensed.
You got Ybor Street. When I went down there, that was pretty fun. I seen some weird ass shit down there, dude. Holy
insane.
Shit.
It's insane. Oh my God.
I remember Jake and I walk into this karaoke bar and he requests to sing, I think like Me So Horny or some shit. And they let him do it, which was incredible. But I remember we walk in and there's like a chick sitting there like all dolled up and stuff. And I like she looked like she was by herself, but when you looked really close, there was a guy like on his knees, like caressing her legs like this really slowly in public. And I'm like, Jake, where did you take me? And he goes, dude, we'll sing karaoke and just get out of here. This is giving me weird vibes. And if Jake's getting weird vibes, you know that place is strange as shit.
You know, one of the first things that made me think like I could do stand-up comedy is karaoke, and specifically me and Jake used to, like, if we had like a day off, we used to live together the first year we were down here, and we'd have a day off and we'd go there to Ybor, and no matter what time of day is, that bar, it's always a karaoke bar 24/7. So like we show up there and he's like, let's do something to make people laugh. And he's like, let's do Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow picture. He's like, I'll be Sheryl Crow, you be Kid Rock. And dude, like we just both kind of acted it out and we're real silly with it. And we had the place roaring and like it was just such a good feeling. And that was like one of the first things that made me think, like, if I get up here and sing these silly songs and make people laugh, like maybe I could do stand-up. You know, that was like one of those things. So that bar and Jake, I'll always remember them for that reason.
That's awesome, man. See, this is why we do this right here, is insider scoops like that, man. This is exactly what I'm looking for out of this kind of stuff. Yeah, I just know, like, I would have to venture a guess. Tampa's got to be number 2 city to Austin right now in comedy. I would have to say that's a pretty fair statement.
I'd say we're like top 5. I think New York is still up there.
I just hate New York.
LA's really fallen off, but like Austin's really taken over. But we do have a great scene down here. We got some killers down here, and people want to come here. That's the thing. So like, that helps a lot. Like nobody wants to go perform in buttfuck Ohio. You know what I mean? Like you can get anybody to come do a show in Tampa.
If the money was right, we would probably still perform in buttfuck Ohio.
Yeah. I mean, at the level I'm at, I perform wherever they tell me. Like I go to the smallest shitholes ever for like $100 and 3 beers, but like, you got to climb the ladder. You got to start somewhere, So that's the level I'm at right now. But sometimes I get lucky and I get to do, like Detroit House of Comedy or Skankfest. You know what I mean? Like,
speaking of Skankfest, dude, how was that for you?
That was the best week of my life. And shout out to you for. I know you're a Vegas connoisseur, so you gave me some good advice on where to eat and stuff. I appreciate that. But it was literally the best week of my life. Like I had no business being there. It was just like me and like pretty much every comedic legend you can think of, which is just, it was so cool. Like, I'd be sitting in a room and it would be like fucking Dave Attell and Bert Kreischer. You know what I mean? Like just like these legends, and then just me just like, hi guys, what's up? But I only got to do 3 spots while I was there, but it was 100% worth it. Every penny I spent, like it was just so much fun, man. And we went, like the Skankfest is only 3 days, but we went out there for 7 so we could like explore. Like the one day we rented a car for the week, so we drove up to Utah and did Zion National Park one of the days. We did Hoover Dam. We did, all the tourist stuff. And then when it was Skankfest time, it was just straight fuckery, just doing the craziest shit. Like I went to the strip club with TJ Miller till like 4 a.m. one night. It was crazy. He's such a big guy. and like I didn't realize how big he was because not only is he tall, but he's just like wide, kind of like built like a lineman almost. And he's so drunk, he's like falling all over the place. I had to pick him up off the ground like 3 times, and I'm just like, I'm literally hanging out with Deadpool's sidekick at a strip club. It's crazy. Well,
yeah, dude, that's wild, man. It's cool. When I was down with you, you were showing me photos of all the other people that you've helped out with their shows and things like that. It's incredible that these little small venues are still getting all these big name acts coming through, because at the end of the day, doing arena shows is fun and all, but it sounds to be like a lot of big comics like the smaller venues still.
Oh yeah, like Side Splitters, it's like a comics paradise because the ceilings are low. It's a small, intimate room. Like the capacity is like 250, but like every seat in there is like a front row seat in that bad boy. It's just so awesome, man. It's so cool, and they just love the vibe and the surroundings. So it makes them want to come back. Like I said, like there's tons of guys that do arenas and theaters, but they'll come in and pop in and do like a show to try new shit or just to show some love. It's like Mark Norman had his bachelor party there when I first started. That was one of the most fun nights of my life. It's like Bert Kreischer, Ari Shaffir, like all these big guys, and they're all just there because they knew, like, starting off the bachelor party by doing shows at Side Splitters, A, it's going to pay for their whole weekend of all the crazy stuff they're going to do, and B, like, what better place to have a bachelor party than Tampa? It's like strip club capital of the world.
Right.
Fun comedy club. You got the beaches. You got everything.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, definitely got to get back down there sometime.
Yeah, we got to get Nick down here too. Bring him down.
Oh,
yeah, for sure, man. Nick,
only in the winter
else
time,
you got? You got a couple more. Yeah, only during the wintertime. Yeah. All right, Nick, what other questions you got before we switch gears here?
Well, my main question is about the NBA. What do you think about LeBron James' statement about taking over Christmas as our day? What's your feelings on that?
I mean, it's kind of always in my eyes. Like I'm a basketball junkie. You guys know that, but Christmas always has been like the NBA's day in my mind. Because like ever since I was a little boy, like NBA on Christmas Day has been like my thing. Like I didn't get to go home this year. And that's what I did on Christmas was ate Chinese food and freaking watch NBA all day long. I actually had I had Netflix up on my tablet too, so I could keep track of the football games too. And the crazy thing is I seen like a report that even though both games were kind of blowouts and stupid in the NFL, they got more views than the NBA, which is insane to me. But they're trying to do all this stuff. I didn't like the whole. They did on Disney Plus. They did the Spurs game with like them as Mickey Mouse characters.
Yeah,
and that was kind of stupid, if you ask me. I thought that was stupid, but I mean they're trying to like
trying to get a younger audience involved.
Exactly.
See, that's where I really like how they did the Simpsons cast a couple weeks ago with the Bengals and the Cowboys game.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Was that good?
Dude, I thought it was great. I thought it was great on a couple different levels, like the fact that one, it was a cartoon to relate to kids, but it's an adult cartoon that more than just kids is going to turn into. Like I watched it and they didn't do commercials. They just did trivia for the NFL and the Simpsons between broadcasts. And you always knew when there was going to be a good play because if you noticed, like Homer was playing quarterback, they were about to have a good play, which was kind of cool because I could just not really pay attention because really
and then when you see him, you kind of like, oh, it's time to lock in because something big's about to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because the game was roughly 2-3 minutes delayed, right, Nick? It was a couple minutes behind.
Yeah, it was about 2.5 minutes, but to do that animation that quickly is kind of amazing. But I thought the itself was kind of ish. I'm here to watch the game.
Yeah,
got funny characters running around.
I agree with you too, but if you're trying to get kids with the TikTok attention spans of 0.5
Nick, you're a purist. They're doing this. They're doing this to reach out to these dumbasses that can't look at a screen for more than 12 seconds. Just like he's talking about like the TikTok stuff. Yeah.
Yep. So,
Call me old.
I saw a couple highlights in the Mickey Mouse one, and like Yeah, it's cool and everything, but I don't know. I think that's too young of a demo to be trying to reach for the NBA.
Right. Like they don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. But
But
I think
like that Stearns. I mean, not Stearns. Silver's trying. He's trying all types of different stuff.
Yeah.
Putting games, different countries.
Look at the changes that we've had to make to the All-Star games, or the the Pro Bowls, or the Home Run Derby. Even it's been so stale for so long. You've got to come up with something else.
You see, they changed the All-Star game again this year. It's going to be something different again.
Thought about it.
Yeah, it's like 3 teams or something, and they're playing to like a target score. I don't know. They're just trying to make it competitive because like last year that they kept emphasizing that, and then the 2 teams together almost put up 400 points.
It's wild.
There's no defense.
Wasn't it like 212 to 198 or some shit?
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
It's fun to watch.
Do you think the format change will be competitive though, Sean?
What? Say that again. Sorry.
Do you think it'll be competitive even with the format change? These guys are here.
I hope so, but I doubt it. I don't think those guys there's not dogs like there used to be. You need like a Stephon Marbury and AI talking shit to each other. You need something like that where these guys want to go out and like bust each other's ass. Or like maybe if they put more money on the line or something too, because money is the ultimate motivator.
$100 a person. Come on,
something to really make because that's the main thing is defense. Like nobody's playing defense in the All-Star games, which makes it almost unwatchable.
Why in the Pro Bowl game do they even let offensive and defensive linemen play? Like, there's just no point.
Yeah, they should just honor them and maybe have like how they do the skills challenge things. Maybe have like something for that for them, like blocking challenges. And then when the actual game's being played, just run it like a 7-on-7.
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely some that needs to be made in all those. Yeah, didn't they play flag football last year?
They did, and they're going to moving forward. But they put a new punter challenge in this year.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually kind of excited about that.
Nothing will ever beat the late 90s to early 2000s skills competitions that they had on NFL Network. That was just the cream of the crop. Watching Manning throw 80 yards,
slang that thing.
Yeah, man. Like 50 yards down the field into this little bucket, like done, run it.
Yeah.
That's all we want. We're simple people, NFL. So let's go back to it. Come on, it's not difficult.
Right. Bring Sean Taylor back to level people.
Get right out of the statue. There you go.
He did not care if it was a Pro Bowl. He was trying to put you in a wheelchair.
Yep, that's for sure, man. That's for sure. So how's everything else sports wise been down in Tampa? I know obviously
Lightning are decent this year. Bucks, I mean, they really kind of shot themselves in the foot last week, but we still have a good chance to win the division for the 4th year in a row. Yeah, you heard that, 4th year in a row, 4-time South champs. But they literally run the South. And then, it's about an hour and a half drive from me, but the Magic have really turned it around. They're a ton of fun to watch now, and even with injuries, they're still kicking ass. Like they won their division last year. Finally got back in the playoffs. They didn't do so well. They lost to Cleveland, but Paolo Banchero is he's like the guy. Like he's a real superstar. You know what I mean? And that's what every team needs to make that next step. And he is that. And then the Germinator Terminators, Mo and Franz Wagner are just beasts, dude. Sadly, they're both hurt right now, but when those two are healthy, that brother duo is amazing. Franz is an all-star caliber player, and his brother is before he got hurt, he was in the top contention for 6th man of the year. He's just a dog coming off the bench, and they're just big bully Smash Bros type. Reminds me of the Mighty Ducks when we were kids. Those big kids that just beat the shit out of everybody. I
love it.
It's like that, man.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I know. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do the Pistons already have more wins this year than they had all of last year?
I think so. Yeah, they just won last night off a game winner by Jaden Ivey again.
They only won 12 games last year. Where are we at now? 10?
I think 13.
14 last year.
I think they have 13. I think they have 13 now. So
that's what I'm saying, dude. We're already shades ahead. I thought it was really cool that at the first couple games of the year, Cade Cunningham had back-to-back triple doubles, and he was the first Piston to do that since Isaiah Thomas, which is cool, but it's saying something as to how dog shit we've been for goddamn long.
It's been so bad for so long.
Like 2000, like the mid 2000s when we had, Rashid and Ben Wallace and Rip Hamilton, and Chauncey, all that. Like I still remember, I think it was like the 2004 season, 2005, somewhere in that realm, when the starting lineup for the Eastern Conference All-Star game was the Pistons starting five.
Yeah,
that
was all
incredible.
those guys made the All-Star game. That was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they put them all in at the same time at one point.
Yeah, and now they're all coaching.
Yeah. But Cade's the real deal too, man. He's finally starting to get some help. I think Cade should be an All-Star this year, and there's no reason why they can't make the play-in this year. I think they're good enough to at least make the play-in tournament. Like
it'd be good for
you
Detroit.
can be below 500 and get the play-in in the East. Like the East is weak. So.
Yep.
Cade is a superstar, but I don't understand why they don't move him to point guard. If it weren't for his turnovers right now, they'd be even better. Let Cade run without the ball. Let him score. Let him do everything else. He shouldn't be running the point, though.
He's one of those guys. It's like, he's a million times better than Ben Simmons, but kind of like a Ben Simmons where it's stuck in his head that he's a point guard, and Ivy is kind of better off ball than he is. Like he's kind of turnover prone, I'd say. So like Cade likes to run the reins when it comes to that shit, which I get, but I get where you're coming from too. Cause like traditionally he would be like a 3, he'd be a small forward.
Yeah.
And if this was the 90s or something like that, but I mean, basketball's different now. It's almost like positionless. It's just there's like 2 guys that handle the ball and that's it.
Yeah, it's kind of true because everybody's like, built the same. And even more so, like it's just in sports in general, it's getting a little bit dwindled, like in baseball, how like pitching rotations are just not a thing anymore. Yeah, I mean they are, but like the angle
they're going with 3 guys. Yeah,
the angle the Tigers took really opened up everybody's eyes this year to the point where, I watched this little mini series about starting pitchers, and this guy kind of went into this whole spiel about how he feels in about maybe 3 to 5 years the starting pitcher is going to almost not be a position, because he went on to show a stat that said all these teams that paid these, like a Justin Verlander or a Max Scherzer or anybody of that nature, they didn't do as good because they spent all their money on one guy. When you just spread the wealth a little bit, it just seems to go a lot further. So
that's one thing I think the Rays are good at is by doing like you're talking about. They just draft well and they just have a bunch of like solid guys instead of paying that one guy. It just sucks because then as soon as those guys get good, though, they trade them away, like Snell and Glasnow, and every time someone becomes an all-star, like, get them the hell out of here. We're not paying that guy.
Yeah, I know. And it's nice to see, like the Tigers did what they did last year with the youngest roster in the league. Kind of like what the Packers are doing this year in the NFL with the youngest team, which gives me a little bit of hope. That and the fact that Jake Rogers' mustache is the dirtiest mustache on planet Earth. Besides maybe you and him could go like head to head.
But yeah, the Tigers have a great trajectory. Someone's got to turn into that guy, that Cade Cunningham or that Paolo Banchero, but the baseball version of that for them, like, because every team needs that guy that everyone fears, like Mike Judge on the Yankees or whoever you want to. You know what I mean?
There has been so many blockbuster trades already in this offseason for the MLB. It was already hard enough for me to keep up with it before. It's going to be even harder for me now, but
right.
Okay. Nick, you got anything else before we kind of get into some pick'ems here?
No, just happy you're on here, Sean. It's great to see you again. Can't wait to see you for your comedy show in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, brother, I'm excited to hang out, man. It's gonna be a good time, man.
It's gonna be a great time.
We're gonna have a good old time in downtown Detroit.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure, man. Wish I could be there, but I got to be here for boy and mama.
Otherwise, we got it. You're a new pappy.
Yeah, for sure.
Pappy
all right,
Kurt.
cool. Well, Sean, you want to do some picks with us or what?
Sure. Let's do it.
All right, cool. All right, I just got to pull up because my print-offs are old. So, okay. So, obviously, we've had some games this week. The devil-worshipping Chiefs somehow won again.
God. You know.
God, I can't stand them. Just Patrick Mahomes, I think I hate you more than I've ever hated Tom Brady.
I was about to say, it's turning into exactly like the Patriots. Like, they just get so much help from the refs.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. So, last night's game, let's just touch on that for a hot second. I didn't watch a second of it. And I'm very happy because I feel like I would have wasted 3 hours of my life.
The people in the stadium should have demanded their money back. Like, no one even scored a touchdown.
Dude, it was plus 13,000 for no touchdowns, and a guy won like 180K or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, unbelievable. But that is just the cherry on top of how shit Thursday Night Football was all year, minus the Lions-Packers.
The Lions. I was just about to say that was the only good one.
Only game that was worth any of a shit. The rest of the games this year were so god awful. Roger Goodell, pull your head out of your urethra and figure it out. Anyways,
how did you feel? You fired Eberflus and thought it was gonna fix it, and you got worse. Yeah, I didn't think it was possible.
Me neither.
It's insane.
Yeah. All right. So we got 3 games on Saturday, which is kind of cool, but Scott Hansen's going to have a hard time on Sunday with only a few games going on. So,
that's my guy, man. That makes my Sunday. That's one of the things that keeps me alive is the Octobox.
The Octobox. I have not missed a witching hour all year, dude. It's been awesome.
Oh yeah.
All right. So
never missed one.
Okay, so first game on Saturday, we got Chargers-Patriots. Nick, who you got?
Do I really have to make a pick here? I feel like it seems pretty clear.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's an easy one.
Yeah, all right, so you got the Chargers.
Chargers 100%.
Chargers 100%. I'm going to take the Chargers. However, I will say I'm very excited to see, because let's just say out of the blue that the Patriots pull this off. I think it saves Gerard Mayo's career as a head coach there. But if they get like drugged through the mud, I think he's done. Drake May's showing so much promise
he's good.
I just feel like they're going to bail on him if he can't pull something out of his ass. But yeah, so we all got Chargers. So
here's my thought on that. So the only coach they would fire him for would be Mike Vrabel. They're going to have a Patriots coach.
Right,
one way or the other.
I think he's still got at least a year or two before they can't shit him. They're going to give him a chance. It's his first year.
Yeah, I hope so. You know what's absolutely wild is Mike Vrabel is unemployed currently, right? That man won coach.
I think that's by his own choice, though.
Yeah. Well, didn't Tennessee let him go?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm sure there's teams that want him. But he doesn't want to coach for those teams. Like, he's only going to go into a situation he deems is right for him,
Right, yeah.
He is a great coach. And I thought it was bullshit when Tennessee fired him. That was bullshit.
They did him a favor,
they've been doing so swimmingly since.
Yeah, exactly.
They did him a favor.
Yeah,
it's because their quarterback Will Levis is putting mayonnaise in his coffee. That sick fuck. He needs to be arrested.
Dude, for real, you are not wrong, man. You are not wrong at all.
Put the mayonnaise down. Fuck boy.
Oh God,
put
love
the
it.
helmet away.
Yeah. So the 4:30 window, I am pumped about. It's going to be a good one.
What we got going on?
Broncos Bengals. Who you guys got?
Broncos Bengals.
Yep.
I think the Bengals, man. I think that's a tough one because the Broncos do have a good defense and they need it more. But I think the Bengals, they still are clinching on their slim hopes of making a playoff spot. So I'm going with the Bengals. Burrow's the man.
All right, Nick, who you got?
Well, man, that's a tough pick.
That's a tough one.
If Patrick Surtain shuts down Jamar Chase, that offense is going to be at a stalemate.
They still got T. Higgins.
But I'm going to take the Broncos by 3.
All right, Broncos.
I think that's going to be a close one.
I've been really enthralled with watching Brandon Perna's channel, That's Good Sports. If you've not seen him before, Sean, you should look him up. He's really hilarious.
What is it? Say it again.
His name's Brandon Perna with That's Good Sports. Shout out, Brandon. Get me on. Let's link up and do something together.
Send me a link. I'll check it out.
He's a big Broncos fan, and he has selling shirts that say what is it? Big Nick's energy. And I just think that is just the perfect freaking thing for them. As much fun as it's been to watch Perna and the Broncos and such, I just think right now the Bengals are. We all know they suck the first half of the season. In the second half, they're absolutely
so much better than their record. You know what I mean?
They are definitely. If they miss the playoffs, which they probably will, they'll be the best team that didn't make the playoffs, hands down.
Right.
It's really hard. Is this game in? Where is this game?
Good question.
It's in Cincinnati.
It's in Cincinnati. Yes, it is.
Oh,
yeah,
thanks.
I gotta take the Bengals with that.
Who day, baby? Who day?
Yeah, gotta take the Bengals. All right, late window in the Saturday games. Could be 50-49. Could be 6-3. We got the Cardinals and the Rams. Who you guys got?
Well,
I'm going go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm going Rams. They're playing good football right now. I mean, their offense is stagnant, but the defense is clicking together. And if Stafford gets hot, I think that one will be a barn burner. I think it will be high scoring, especially after last week they put up like no points. So I think both teams are going to try to make a statement. But I'm going Rams.
All right, good pick. Nick, what you got?
Well, I kind of need your quarterback to throw 5 interceptions. So I'm going to have to go with the Rams. Me and Kurt are in the ship this week in our fantasy.
Oh, you guys made it to the championship, both of you?
Yeah. So I got to need the quarterback to get hit by a bus, maybe traffic accident.
Who you got? Stafford?
I got Kyler Murray, and I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
So, John, somebody told me one time that when Kyler Murray runs, he runs like a toddler that just stole a piece of candy.
Oh, 100%. That's exactly what it looks like.
Once you see that, you can't unsee it. Kyler, we love you, but damn, dude, you got some small-ass strides.
Yeah, he waddles while he runs. He's like waddling like a baby.
It's nuts.
Yeah, but it looks like a baby with a poopy diaper, like running away with like a battery or something.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I got the Rams.
So you got Rams, Nick? Okay.
Yeah, I got the Rams. I like Stafford in this one. They've been clicking.
It's really tough to pick against Matt Stafford right now, especially because they still have a hope. The Cardinals are done, which means they could play spoiler, but I got the Rams too. It's really hard to pick against Stafford in December.
So who's first right now? Is it Seahawks or Rams? Who's winning the West right now?
Rams. The Rams are.
That's what I thought.
The Rams are ahead. Yeah, Rams are ahead.
And they hold the tiebreaker. If they win, they clinch.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that'll be a good one. All right, so Sunday we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in the early window and only 2 games in the late window. So first early window game is Jets-Bills. I'm just going to go out here and say one. Well, first off, the Bills are going to win this by a landslide. And 2, I'm having a hard time seeing Aaron Rodgers coming back in any fashion next year. And I don't say that from a performance standpoint. I say that because I feel like the Jets suck the soul out of anyone that touches their organization.
Oh, yeah, they do. They have they're letting the owner's teenage son make their decisions based on Madden ratings.
It's like
dude, they wouldn't sign somebody because his awareness rating on Madden wasn't high. Like, it's insane the shit that they're doing. But Rodgers has been playing better the past couple weeks. I'll give him that. Yep. And I think it'll be closer than people would expect.
Yep.
But I still think the Bills win.
Yeah, for sure. Now, before I get your pick, Nick, I'd like to remind everybody of a very, very funny letter that if you just do a simple Google search, you can find and read, and it'll take you about 5 minutes. But back in the early 2000s, there was a lineman named Ethan Albright who got a 49 rating in Madden and decided to write John Madden.
Oh, I've seen this. Yes.
Yeah. If you've not read it before, search Ethan Albright on Google. It will come up. It made me shoot milk out my nose.
It's so funny.
It was so damn funny. I think one of my favorite lines is, "You gave me an awareness rating of 12. You make it seem like I wake up out of a drunken daze every morning, knock everything off my bedside table while proceeding to piss myself on my way to make cereal." Yeah. So anyways, Nick, who you got in the Jets-Bills game, dude?
Well, this is kind of a screwed up pick, but I think with the Chiefs clinching, they have no reason to fight anymore. I think they bench a couple people. I'm going to take the Jets in this. I think the Bills are going to start resting people as they should.
Nick, it'd probably be better for you to donate money to St. Jude's than just donate money to DraftKings. Anyways. Anyways, good pick. No, to be honest, you're right. Aaron Rodgers has got nothing to lose. He could throw.
And he's fighting for his life right now. I think that's the other thing, because like everyone was saying, he's like begging to stay with the team. Like he might actually go off.
Yeah, he might. Who knows? That might be a good pick.
Because he has been better the past couple of weeks.
Yes, he has. So I think this next matchup might make Thursday night actually look good. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that I think they might actually tie. We got the Raiders and the Saints. Now, Nick, I remember a couple of weeks ago, when the Giants and the Saints were playing, you said, and I quote, I would take the Saints even with 10 guys on the field. And the Giants made it interesting. However, who you got in this one, Nick?
Well, this is like cutting off both toes. I guess I'll take this. I'm going to take the Saints on this one.
I would too. Okay. I would too. Just because I think the Raiders are trying to lose at this point, and the Saints, like they're not. They're still.
I find it so hard to believe that after being shut out, they're not going to come out just guns ablazing to try to score anything.
Yeah.
Just I take the Saints. The Raiders are just a beautiful mess. I watched a video actually this morning of Max. It was a highlight of Max Crosby when the first time they played Denver this year, and Bo Nix was doing his cadence at the line and stuff, and Max Crosby stood up and said, "Speak up, young man! No one can hear you."
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and then proceeded. Yeah, I just thought that was too good. But yeah, it's really hard. I saw another article again. There's been open talks between Max Crosby and Detroit Lions again.
That's a match made in heaven. Having him and Hutch, the two nastiest white boys coming off the edge.
Dude, it would be absolutely the sickness. And you can say what you want, but the culture that Dan Campbell's instilled in that team, Max Crosby fits that DNA so perfect. Yep. So, but with that,
and he went to Eastern.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, I'm taking the Saints too. That's a clean sweep for the Saints from us. So next game, another semi-barn burner, possibly have a second-year quarterback fighting for a starting job next year. We got Colts and Giants. Sean, who you got?
Colts, Giants. I'm going with the Colts. They've been tough all year. They're not good, but they play hard. And the Giants are the complete opposite of that. They do not play hard at all.
No, they
definitely going with the Colts on that one.
Yep, good pick. Nick, what you got?
Well, the Giants are a dumpster fire from literally top management down. Their whole locker room, their whole executive office is absolutely disgraceful.
The whole city of New York.
Not going with the Giants.
Yeah, the whole city of New York's like just a giant bag of shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen them between the Jersey Devils, the Giants, the Jets. Like, everything's on fire there.
All they got is the Knicks. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's very true. And, if it wasn't for the Knicks, I think Spike Lee would have offed himself already. So,
you still might. Hold your beer.
Hey, cross your fingers.
All right, Sean, this one hits a little further home for you here. This one should be a pretty obvious, but, you got Jalen Hurts hurt. I think they're going to keep him off. I would. They've already clinched a playoff spot.
Yep.
But Cowboys, Eagles, who you got, Sean?
I hate both these teams, but I hate Dallas more. So, and I'm going to go with the Eagles, even though I think it will be a tougher game than people think. Same thing happened with my my Commanders. I guess I got to call them the Commanders now. But same thing happened when they played them. I thought it was going to be easy, and then all that crap happened at the end. They got screwed over. They missed the PAT after the quote-unquote Hail Mary, whatever you want to call it. But especially with Kenny Pickett, if Kenny Pickett's starting, I think it's going to be very close. But I'll still go with with the Eagles just because of Saquon. He's trying to hit that 2,000 mark, and I don't think anybody's going to stop him from doing that.
No, I don't think so either. Nick, who you got? We lose Nick. All right, I'll keep talking while he.
I think he's frozen.
Yeah, he is. He'll get back on in a second. All right,
so funny because It looks like a snowman, kind of, right?
Oh shit! All right. Well, anyways, until Nick unfreezes, I'll give my pick. I'm taking Philly just because it is up. It's a no brainer. Even if Kenny Pickett comes out on fentanyl, I think he can still chuck 3 touchdowns
Right.
against the Cowboys. Even though the Cowboys defense has been stepping up a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's definitely been.
Sadly, they look better with Cooper Rush than they do with Dak. Like, crazy. And Cooper Rush, I don't know if you know this, but when I was living in East Lansing, he was playing for East Lansing Catholic. Like, I seen him play high school basketball and football across the street from my house in East Lansing.
God love it, dude. That's cool.
Yeah. So and he's a ginger. So, like, you got to rep your people.
Amen, dude. Amen. So, all right, next game we got here. Whenever Nick gets back on, I'll chuck him back on here. I don't know.
Speaking of which, my phone's at 5%, so if I disappear, that's why. But I think we're good for a couple more minutes.
Sounds good. All right, we'll rush through these last few picks here. Panthers Bucks. My God, that's a no-brainer. All right, here we go. We got Nick back. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, we all back?
All right.
We're good.
Sweet. Okay. Anyways, Nick, who you got in that Philly game?
Eagles Cowboys.
I don't even want to vote for a team, to be honest with you.
I like that. I have the same opinion.
Yeah,
I'm definitely not voting for the Cowboys in this one. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I kind of hope they tie.
I hope Jerry Jones coaches the team.
Dude, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be.
That's what I'm going for. I'm rooting for a tie.
I hope the Vikings and the Packers tie this week too, but that's down the road. Okay, we got.
Oh, that would be amazing too.
Yeah. Okay. So the next game, Nick, was the Bucks Panthers. I got the Bucks all day.
Yeah. Bucks by a million.
Bucks by 50 fucking billion.
Yeah.
All right.
Mike Evans is gonna have 300 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns.
That would be fun.
Bryce Young looks a little better these last 6 weeks, though.
Oh damn! This thing. I'm gonna have to run into my room, put this thing on the charger, to finish this interview, guys.
For sure. All right. Next game, which is just an absolute crapshoot. We got Titans Jags. I got the Jags just because I can't stand Will Levis anymore. I can't.
Well, I don't think Will Levis is starting, so I'll take the Titans.
Oh yeah, Will Levis. I don't think he's. Yeah, I think they benched him.
Oh, did they finally? Well, you know what? I'll still take the Jags because not a lot of people remember, but Bill Belichick did go 10-6 with Mac Jones at some point in his career.
Right.
So, I mean, kids got it at some point. So I'll take the Jags. Sean, who you got?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'll go Titans. I'm gonna go Titans.
All right, nice pick. Okay, geez, God, is this week just full of bullshit? Dolphins Browns. Yeah. Dolphins Browns. Nick, what's your take?
Well,
yeah, it's like Dolphins. All right.
I don't even have an explanation. There's no.
Hey, you guys gotta send me one of them shirts. I just realized you got merch already. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'll get you one out in the mail, brother.
Yeah, send me one. I'll wear it on stage. I'll promote your shit.
Sweet, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, Sean, who you got? Dolphins or the Browns?
Dolphins. I think they still have a outside chance at making the wild card. I'm not sure. I think
they do. I think you're correct. The Browns are totally out. I don't even know if the Browns know who they are.
And the Browns, the dumbest thing they did was benching Jameis Winston. Like, yeah, okay, he throws like 2 or 3 picks per game no matter what, but so does every other fucking quarterback you have, and at least he's fun.
Seriously. Yeah, at least I'm excited for. I'm excited for Jameis Winston's podcast when he retires. That shit is going to be must-watch YouTube.
The guy he's so entertaining.
He's that clip of him when he was trying to get a team to jump off sides, and he's just like, somebody jump off sides already. Like, how can you take that seriously on the field, dude? I just find that so funny.
Yeah, I think.
All right.
I always said Marshawn Lynch is the most entertaining athlete but I think Jameis might pass him.
Winston might take that cake, dude. Especially as of this year, like he's just been a breath of fresh air for the Cleveland Browns, and which is what they've needed. Because I mean, you signed a potential, sexual harassment, habitual
harassment,
habitual
and,
sexual. I don't know. So, anyways, clean sweep of the Dolphins. Okay, coming up on a game that I said earlier, I hope is a tie, is Packers Vikings. The inner child in me that knows that the Vikings need to lose has to like this much root for the Packers, even though I just don't want to.
Same.
I'm gonna take the Pack just because we need the Vikings to lose as Lions fans. So, Sean, who you got?
I feel the same way as a Lions fan. I hate rooting for the Packers. Like I rooted for them for 4 years when our boy Jeff was playing for them. But other than that, I fucking hate the Packers. So it's hard, but I'm hoping that they do just for the sake of the Lions getting home field advantage.
Yep, Nick, who you got?
Dude, the Pack has been rolling.
They have been playing well.
Yeah, their only road stop has been us. I got the Pack in this one. I think it's going to be a great game, though.
I hope it is, too. I can see Aaron Jones running for 100 yards just to give him the middle finger.
Fucking revenge game.
Josh Jacobs has been playing out of his goddamn
he's a bowling ball. Dude. He's a bowling ball.
He is.
He's played great. He finally has an offensive line.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
That's true.
Right. Clean sweep of the Pack. I love it. All right. Now we're getting into one of your teams, Sean. We got the Falcons and the Commanders. I already know who you're going to say.
Dude, that's big. I really need, for two reasons. Because, my three teams are Lions, Commanders, and Bucks. And I need it for two reasons. One, because I want the Commanders to win, two, to help the Buccaneers. So, and I think that there's no reason they shouldn't spank the fuck out of them. Like Jaden Daniels should have 5 touchdowns again, like he did last week on the Eagles.
I really hope that he does, because if he does get 5 touchdowns, that will solidify my fantasy football championship.
Oh, you got him on your squad?
You bet your ass, dude. He's been a gangster this year.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a steal of a pick this year, man. Where he's going.
Yep, I got the Commanders as well. We lost Nick again. That's all right. He'll come back on. I got the Commanders as well. It's Jaden Daniels been playing out of his mind this year. I think he's definitely Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year. I'm taking the Commanders.
Dude, he fucking changed that whole team around in 1 year. The coach has been a huge help too. Dan Quinn is a great coach, but getting them back to being a 10-win team is insane. I never would have thought that would happen this fast.
Yeah, I know. Credit to Dan Quinn. He's definitely turned that whole organization around. Overnight, it's been incredible. And they didn't get a whole new offensive line, so it's just a credit to his coaching ability.
And outside of Terry McLaurin, they don't have good wide receivers either.
No, yep, for sure. So, okay. So I'm almost positive Nick would take the Commanders, so I'm just going to put that down there. I will say though, kudos to the Falcons for realizing that they fucked up and benching Cousins. Yeah. I think his career's over. Personally, he might still play, but he ain't gonna start anywhere. But anyways, I definitely like the direction they're going with Michael Penix. But yeah. Anyways, all right, get back on, Nick. All right, so last game is the Monday night game that I'm really looking forward to. Is the Lions and the 49ers.
Lions all the way, baby. Lions
all day for sure, but there's a couple of things. One, we need to win these next 2 games because we need that a week off more than anybody. The list of players that we would get back after that week is insane. I think it's 6 or 7. But that week, none of them are ready. There's David Montgomery is taking freaking lava rocks and rubbing them on his MCL.
He's like in Dragon Ball Z. He's in that hyper chamber.
Yeah, dude, it's freaking nuts. So he's on that level. To be honest, I think the biggest motivator for the Lions right now is hearing Aiden Hutchinson say every single day, when we're in the Super Bowl, I'm coming back.
Yes.
And I just hope for 2 things. One, that it's the right decision. But 2, that it actually does happen. I just would hate to see him, come back and re-hurt it, you know.
Hey, if it gets him a ring, it's worth it.
100%, dude, because I don't think our window is going to be closing for another couple of years with the talent that we have. But we do have to remember we're going to be losing Ben Johnson. We're going to be losing Aaron Glenn. Those are very, very big shoes to fill. So I don't know. I just I'm very optimistic that we can keep the momentum going. But it's definitely going to be more difficult. I wish. Nick just informed me his internet went out. Yeah. So, anyways, he's trying. Get on your phone. Screw it. Anyways, we'll get it back on. Yeah, I'm just excited. Our friend Ken Evans, shout out Ken. He had a really good thing in one of our group chats for fantasy this year that the Lions should just buck up and pay Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson head coach money. Like, just forget it. Just totally shake up the market. There's no salary cap on paying coaches. Like, they're the best in the business. They obviously like what they're doing now. And then you have the flip side. Like, yeah, you might offer them all that money and then them still want to spread their wings and do their own thing. But I said this a couple other podcasts. Ben Johnson, if and when you go to the Bears, sayonara to your career, buddy, because that place is a black hole for coaches.
Dude, it's
right down the toilet. You're gonna wake up in the middle of the night and Caleb Williams is gonna be painting your fucking toenails in your sleep, dude.
Yeah, Bears or Jets, no matter who they bring, what they do, they're always doomed.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts. So, yeah, I wish them all the best. I really do. They've done nothing but great for our organization. But at some point you gotta spread your wings and fly. Best case scenario for us, they both go off somewhere, they both suck dick, and they both come running back. That would be best case scenario. So, because they're not going somewhere. So, yeah, God love it. Okay, yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Nick here, but yeah, God love it. So, yeah, so Sean. Really greatly appreciate you getting on today, dude.
Hey, thanks for having me, bro. It's great chatting with you guys.
Yeah, good to hear from you. Good to see you. We'll have you back on again, for sure. If I don't hear from you before, have a happy new year, bro. Be safe down there. Yeah, thanks. And we will be talking with you soon. Remember, being nice costs nothing, and so does shutting the fuck up. So with that. Hulaham out. Sean, we'll see you later. All right, brother, man.
Peace out, brother. Great talking to you. Tell Nick I said Happy New Year. I'll talk to him.
Yeah,
but you guys have a great one, and a big hug for me.
Yep, for sure, man. We'll see you, dude.
All right. Peace, brother.